Realistic! This isn't in the zombie survival guide! Mom! Mom! Oh my god! Oh my god! They came out of the floor! Ah!
Hey, what the hell? It just caught me in midair! It's pulling me into the fire! Ah!
Oh no!
Oh no!
What is going on? That was kind of funny, not gonna lie.
Nick, get off the gun! Nick, get off the gun! Nick, get the fuck out of there! Oh no! Oh my god! Bye, Nick. R.I.P. in Who is YouTube's only Scottish and Chinese vlogger? That would be Sash TV. A combo you wouldn't see coming, right? But it works so well for his channel, and his content really shines. Now, enough of yanking off Shaft TV. Shaft TV. Freudian slip there. Sash TV. Say 2 again.
Bad news. It's already in format.
Gotcha! That's Destiny 1, you dumbass!
Oh, no fucking way. This guy thought I was a part of the canon? this is a part of the canon, everyone! This is
Oh, there he is, the one and only Canes with his A+ posture and his F- face. Ooh, Canes, what you gonna do? Hobble on over? Lick my shoes? I'm gonna give Plants vs. Zombies Ground Warfare 2 a 4.8 out of 5. Wait, this isn't right. I sit in my Cool Cat t-shirt and I wonder where my life went wrong. And then I remember that I bought this t-shirt after I finished reading this book, and it all makes sense.
That's because the lead singer managed to swing his microphone around in giant circles from the floor all the way up and catch it. He would throw it and catch it. He never dropped it. Never once did he drop it. That was...
Theological horror is very much my preferred. You know, there's nothing wrong with slashers, stuff like that people enjoy. But for me, the theological horror, possessions and stuff like that, are always the most fascinating.
I was thinking about it, but if I was going to do that, it would either have to be in the future when everybody's okay with a certain name, or it should have been like 1,000 subs ago. Because I was thinking the Pirates deck. All right, so my channel's the Pirates deck. I can still be the captain or the division, and I can kind of throw that into the wordplay, you know, on my channel. Hey, welcome back to the Pirates deck, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cat agrees.
Stamina low, which may prevent you from sprinting or using power attacks. Drink a potion or wait for it to recover. Yes, ma'am. Whew. Well, that was something, huh?
slow motion death.
Come on, that was really well timed.
Whew. The French got a baguette. Oh, oui, oui. My baguette is soggy. My French accent is just like my Shaggy accent impression. I have to say, I have to say a certain word to get it to go. Like, oh, oh, my baguette, it is wet. It is wet. Oh, good food comes from the heart. That's more of a pirate. I'm doing pirate accent now. Like, Scoob, we gotta get out of here. The Germans are coming. I'm totally making that into something. It's gonna be something. I don't know if it'll be a shirt or what. Oh, hello, 666 comments.
Now I must talk like this until there are 667 comments.
Well, after that amazing intro, a look through the life and times of Yemi the Ferret, here we are finally with the second recording of my Q&A for 300 subscribers. Welcome! So I thought, might as well do these in alphabetical order, not in order that I got them. So you kind of know where you are, depending on the first letter of your name. But the one question I got out of order here is from Jay Woods, and he asks, "What's your opinion on redundant questions?" And I simply told him, "We shall see." And yeah, we shall see. So let's dive into the world of questions that people asked me this time around. Last time around, it was 25 subscribers, I'm pretty sure, or 50. I think it was 50. And I did a Q&A, which went pretty well, I suppose. So let's get started here with the one and only Canes, with the A+ posture and the F- face. So who would you smash? Canes, the real Canes, or Mr. Canes? And I gotta ask, why not all three? Coco Gamer asks, what is your YouTube crush? Or who? Grammar. Who is my YouTube crush? I don't really have a YouTube crush. My YouTube crush is a Ready Player One. Sometimes in the streams, always lurking, always in my heart. Crimson Studios asks, what is the ultimate mission for your channel? Well, I think the ultimate mission is just to put out good content and have fun. You know, my last channel I wasn't having fun, but this channel I am having fun. So I think my ultimate mission is to just enjoy what I do and upload on a schedule that relatively works, and meet new people, of course, and gain subscribers. And you know, the end goal is not to make money, but I do like to see growth, and I do like to see, you know, people enjoying the content, and I think I am succeeding on those two things as the channel goes on. So I guess that's your answer. Chronoside asks, why a ferret, Yemi? Why? Because I like ferrets. And at the time that I was making the character based on the Yemi the Ferret, I could not get a ferret, and I almost did get a ferret, but I ended up not getting it because I didn't feel like I would have the time or the money to care for it the way that I would want to. Nowadays, I probably could, but I want to move into a bigger abode before getting another animal that would require the attention of a dog, you know what I'm saying? So I guess why a ferret? Ooh, excuse me. I guess why a ferret? Because I like ferrets. Derpy Goats Gaming asks, oh, actually this is from the OGHG, Original Gangster Hubby Goat, and he asks, what is your favorite Bloodborne boss, and why? I'd probably say that my favorite Bloodborne boss is Father Gascoigne. He has the most intense transformation, and he's one of the first bosses you meet in the entire game, but he has such a way about him that you never quite forget him, you know? Every time you start the game up, you go, Father Gascoigne, he's gonna kick my ass a few times. And he most certainly does. I think he was the perfect first boss, not side boss, first boss, because he's got that twist of, he's really difficult for a first boss, but he's gonna wean out the people who are just playing for fun and the people who actually want to enjoy the game. And I also really enjoy some of the backstory stuff they did with him. Not all the bosses have this, where they have like a little side mission you can do before getting to them, you know, get the music box to make them stun for a second, or, you know, get the brooch and all that. and give it back to the child. So that's why he's my favorite. A few other ones, the Dark Beast Parl, even though I hate fighting him, I really like how he looks and how his AI acts. And Vicar Amelia has also been one of those ones that I really enjoyed doing. She always puts up a good fight, and I usually have a lot of fun fighting her. Other than that, I think that's, all the other ones are fine, From the old Hunter DLC, I'd definitely say that, the Woman in the Clock Tower is definitely my favorite boss from that. She just like Father Gascon, she has one of the most intense transformations of all the bosses in the game. Fuck the side mission boss at the end in the chapel. That boss sucks, but she's pretty fun to fight and very intense fight. So I like my bosses to be manageable and fun. The OG HG also asks, do you prefer Bloodborne as a solo experience or as a multiplayer experience? And this is a good question because either way I can play the game, but I do prefer going through with at least one other person, because going through it solo is it's fun. I like doing it. It's okay, but sometimes you just need someone else there to go on the hunt with you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I can do it either way, but I do prefer having at least one person with you. Anything more than one person with you will definitely increase the difficulty of the game, and you don't really want that. You want to have one strong player with you, and you should be golden. But a solo experience is also a fun time as well, and I do enjoy going through it solo. And I do plan on going through the game again on the YouTube channel, doing the Cain only playthrough. And I'm not sure if I'm going to start from scratch on that one because the Cain is terrible, or if I should just level it up to level 10 right away and go from there. But I guess I'll talk more with Ferret and other people who play Bloodborne and see if they want to kind of do this challenge with me and see what they think. Douglas and Dragons asks, would you rather be invincible but still age and die of natural causes, or have the ability to live forever but be vulnerable to harm, could be killed? So I thought about this one the last time I recorded the Q&A for a while, and I had to go with the second one because my life isn't dangerous enough to warrant being invincible. And I would suppose living forever and being careful about the way you do things like in normal life would be way better than being invincible and being able to do whatever you want, but being able to die of natural causes. I think the second one is definitely a better option in that scenario. Evil Laugh Gaming has 3 questions for me. He asks, what is your favorite anime? And I don't really watch anime. We watched the Batman Ninja movie, last night, so I guess that's kind of anime, and it was okay. But I don't really watch anime. I'm not a huge fan of that. But my favorite animated movies, like Shrek. I do enjoy that Shrek. Other favorite animation movie, I don't really know right now. I'd have to think about it for a little bit longer, but I think the first one that comes to mind is Shrek, and I don't know why, but it just does. And I don't know if it's because of the meme or because I actually like the movie, but I am the Shrek master. If you have a question about Shrek, you can come to me. Number 2, he asks, what was the first video game you remember playing? And the first video game I ever played was Metal Slug, and it was the arcade cabinet at the bowling alley where I used to live. It was in the middle of nowhere, and I remember I could go through the first 2 levels with 1 quarter at the end of my run on in that countryside, whatever, middle of nowhere town. And I was, it was what got me into gaming pretty much, because the next Christmas I got the N64, and that's what jump started. So I don't think if that arcade cabinet wasn't, if it wasn't there, I would probably not have gotten the N64, because my parents wouldn't have seen that I liked video games. But maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. But I would rather have me playing Metal Slug and get the N64 than me not playing Metal Slug and me not getting the N64. Question number 3. Evil Laugh Gaming asks, what Pokemon did you start with in red, blue, or yellow? And I'm a Charmander kind of guy. Squirtle and Bulbasaur I'm not too keen on, but Charmander that's what I usually picked. Eric Allen from The Nomad asks, if you could name one big YouTuber and one small YouTuber to collab with that you haven't had the chance, who and why? So, one big YouTuber who I would want to get on the show would be probably Alex from I Hate Everything. He's one of my most watched YouTubers. Just below him would be Ralph the Movie Maker and Pyrocynical, but I think number 1 on that list is I Hate Everything. I think he'd be a really cool person to talk to, and I could, play a game of Define That Slang with him because he is from the UK. One small YouTuber to collab with that I haven't yet. There's a few of them that I haven't gotten to collab with, and I think the one that's always number 1 on the list is Chronoside. We just haven't had our schedules aligned yet, so I think that would be, it'd be cool to talk to him. I already had the questions written up a long time ago, so I had to kind of revise them, but yeah. Is there anyone not on the podcast? He also asked, is there anyone not on the podcast list that you would want to add to it? So, other people who aren't on the podcast list who I really would like to talk to and get on the podcast. Chronoside, Sash TV, definitely. I just our schedules aren't aligned. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. Someday the moons will align. Other people who I haven't had on the podcast, probably Half-Blood Pixie, or there's a few people who I could name, but I think that's good enough for the list so far. Next up, Hero Next Hero asks, favorite bubbly beverage? And usually what I go for when I am out and I want a bubbly beverage, if I go to a place that has one of those newer Coke machines that lets you choose between a million different flavors. Usually from those I get the vanilla cherry because I like vanilla. My fiance likes cherry. It's a good combination. If I'm not at a place that does that, I usually just get Coke or Pepsi, whichever one. If I want a bubbly beverage, I try not to drink too many sody pops, you know what I'm saying? But when I am out and I do want a sody pop, those are the 2 different ones that I usually, or 3 I guess, because I said Pepsi and Coke. But whatever, they're both they're all the same. Next up, Ion Prime asks, what are your plans for the channel moving forward? And I'd probably say the same thing that I said to Crimson. I just want to make good content and get people on the podcast and keep doing what I'm doing, keep having fun with the channel, keep doing live streams because those are a blast. And make more t-shirts. So I guess that's the answer to that. He also asks, who was the hottest DC lady and why? I don't really know. I was trying to think of this, and there's not really one female DC or Marvel character that I can point to and go, oh yeah, she's hot. Because there's characters they always draw sexual, like Poison Ivy or Harley Quinn. But, I don't really, I don't know. There's not really one that I can point to and say, oh yeah. So, I don't know. I'll say Catwoman. How about that? Josh Birch asks, would you rather live your entire life in a virtual reality where all your wishes get granted, or in the real world? And I'd probably have to say the real world. Even though virtual reality is appealing, I think the real world would be a lot better place. Now, if I could take my conscience and put it in like a computer system and live forever, then we might be talking. The virtual reality would be better because I don't feel like dying. But, the real world would definitely be the place to be because things are real. But if I had the choice, before I died, I would put my conscience in the virtual reality, I suppose. Keji Rain asks, what is your favorite food? And I guess my favorite food when I'm out and about, anything with buffalo, like a buffalo dip or something like that, I really enjoy. Normal things that I mean, my favorite place to go eat is probably Chipotle, but I do really enjoy Chinese food, so you'll see me at least once a week at a Chinese place or at Chipotle, because I really enjoy those two places. Homemade cooking, oh geez, homemade cooking or food, I would probably have to go with, my mom makes a dish once a year at Christmas time. She makes it's called strupla, and it's an old Slovenian dish, and it's really, really good. If you don't know what it is, look it up and try it out. It is delicious. He also asks, how did you come up with the name Yummy the Ferret? And I did answer this in my last Q&A, but I'll do it again because I'm a nice person. So, when I was in middle school, I was writing short stories, and one of the characters that appeared in the stories was Yummy the Ferret. I came up with the name Yummy from the TV show Lost. There was a guy named Yummy. Of course, it was spelled differently, but I liked the name. I didn't like the character. Let me be honest. But I did really enjoy, the name Yummy. So I decided to keep that. And then I also really liked ferrets, and the character in the book was going to be a ferret. So I said, might as well just name him Yummy the Ferret. So that's where the name came from. I used it on this channel because I was thinking about what would I name a second channel to my first one, and instead of naming it something stupid like, the name of my channel 2, I decided to go with Yummy the Ferret because it had a lot of nostalgia with me, and I could do a lot with it if I wanted to. And even though it was originally supposed to just be a backup channel, like all the first week videos on this channel are all from my last channel, it started to grow and really do well, and I'm glad that I chose the name Yummy the Ferret in the end. Crispy Dips asks, how to organically grow on YouTube? I would love some tips from you guys. So, Crispy, the way to grow on YouTube is just to do what you want to do and make content that you feel good putting out. If you don't like what content you're making, if you don't like where your channel is going, then you shouldn't be making that content. I left my original channel because I said I hate the content that I'm putting out. I don't like making this content, and even though people really liked it, I had almost 2,000 subscribers on that channel. I said I don't want to do this anymore because it's not my content. I was putting compilation videos together, and I just wanted to do my own thing. And anytime that I would do my own thing and make something that I really liked, people would backslap it. They would massively dislike it. So I moved over to this channel, and I really enjoy what I'm putting out. I really enjoy what I'm doing. If you want to organically grow on YouTube, you need to, 1, do what you want to do, make the videos that you want to make. Worry about the likes and the subscribers second, because when you make what you want to make, you're enjoying what you do, and when you enjoy what you do, you make better content. Other ways to grow your channel are, of course, to join Discords, join Facebook groups and stuff like that. Promote the hell out of your channel. I think that's third on the list of what you need to do, is just get on Twitter, get on Facebook, get on a Discord, and promote your stuff. Don't join sub for sub trains. Don't join support for support trains, because they're literally the same thing. Just, get your content out there, use the proper hashtags, maybe once in a while go on a little spree of watching other people's videos and commenting, but you never ask them to watch your own content. Don't be like, I subscribe to you and you need to watch my content. Here's the link to my... No, don't do that. Go on to other people's videos, enjoy what they do, like and comment something nice, or something critical. People enjoy fair criticism, and I think that anyone who is on YouTube should be open to some criticism here or there. Now, of course, there is a fine line between criticism and just being an asshole, but that's a conversation for some other time. Crispy also asks, how does a ferret talk? And I think ferrets talk in squeaks or something like that. Mrs. Scyther asks, what is your favorite? Oh, I'm sorry. What is your favorite film? And my favorite film in the whole world is Robin Hood Men in Tights. It's just my favorite freaking movie ever. It always makes me laugh. It always makes me smile. It's just amazing. And literally just below that is Spaceballs. It's another movie that I really, really enjoy, and I always get a laugh from, and I always smile from. Mel Brooks just always did a great job with movies, and those two are definitely the top of my list. I would also put the Jackass trilogy, including the Point Fives. I really enjoy those. They always make you laugh, and they always make you cringe, and they always make you, there's always an emotion you get from those. And I really enjoy those movies. And I watch them multiple times, and every time I watch them, I kind of forget what happens during them. But I come back to them. And I think the behind-the-scenes stuff is a lot more interesting than the original movies, of course, because you get to kind of see what's going on in the background and all the different things. And I really did enjoy that documentary that was on Hulu. I forget what it was called, but it had all the blue people on the front of the cover, and it was a really interesting thing to watch, and how they grew and came about to being Jackass from the old magazines they were writing. Favorite animated movies? I already said Shrek, of course, but I also really liked Batman Assault on Arkham. That's one of my favorite animated movies from DC. Another one that I really liked was Throne of Atlantis, which was a really good DC animated movie. And of course, The Flashpoint Paradox is probably one of my favorites from that group as well. Just don't watch the Killing Joke animated movie. You'll trust me on that. It's not very good. Player 2 asks, would you rather have hiccups for the rest of your life, or always have the feeling of needing to sneeze but not be able to? And I'd probably go with the first one, because at least hiccups, it's every 3 or 4 seconds, whereas the feeling and the need to sneeze is kind of painful. And I would not like to live in pain my entire life. I would rather just live with hiccups. So yeah, there you go. He also asks, what is your top 3 favorite videos that you have made? And I kind of had to scroll through my repertoire of videos, and I started from the bottom because those are my first ever ones. And I think that Left for My Little Pony was one of the ones that I really, really enjoyed making and editing and put together. And also in that same area, Left for the Zoidberg and Left for the Captain are two that I also really enjoy from my old ones, but Left for My Little Pony was definitely my favorite of the Left 4 Dead series. Let's see, number 2, well, I guess it's really no order, but the next one that I would say would be a favorite of mine is probably the Panzer Wrecked montage that I made. It's one of the ones that I had the most fun going through and making. Other ones that I really like in the montage series, Sten Nudes is always a favorite of mine. Weevolver, of course, I really enjoyed that one. And I'd probably have to say let's see, Pistol Whipped. I like those. And then another one that I would say would be one of my favorites was definitely the podcast I did with F Fash. Even though everyone does an awesome job on the podcast, F Fash had the most interesting stories to me personally, and he was a really cool guy and fun to talk to, even though everyone is great on the podcast. Let me get that straight. I just, the Vash is the one that I point to and go, this is the one that I'm most proud of. This is the one that I really like the best out of all of them. Even though they're, I like them all pretty much equally. F Vash's was my favorite so far. And that's not me trying to make anyone angry or anything like that. That's the one that I point to and go, if you want to see, what the podcast is all about, this one has the best, not the best, but it has some of my favorite stories in it. So, Sash TV asks, have no elbows or have no knees? I'd say have no knees because I need my elbows to play video games. just saying. Taymation Studios asks, if something happened and you suddenly couldn't use a ferret in your name channel, what would you use instead? I guess I would say a hyena. That might be the next step there. or I could just go with like a gecko or something like that. You know, something that I have around the condo. So yeah, either that. I don't think the pictures I use are copyrighted. They were on Google, but I do want to get a new profile picture drawn up. I want it to be the same style, like with the ferret with the beret and stuff like that. I just don't want to use that picture anymore because it's literally the first thing that popped up on Google when you type in ferret wearing a beret or wearing a hat. So I definitely want to get that at least changed a little bit. But everything else has been, you know, it should be fine. All the other ferrets that I use are PNG files that I got, you know, online, and I have manipulated them a little bit, so I guess fair use does come about. But next best thing is like a cartoon hyena if the ferret fails. Thorsten PEC asks, "Can I know the podcast schedule?" Tuesdays and Fridays. I think you missed your chance to ask a question there, dude. Varric Dragora asks, "What made you decide to go into YouTube, and what inspired you to create the type of content your channel is known for?" So I decided to get into YouTube originally because I had an opinion, and on that channel I had an idea and I had an opinion, and so I put it on YouTube back in 2010, and a lot of people were indifferent about it, I guess I would say. But I mostly made it for me, which is what the channel was supposed to be about. And then it transformed into sketches and cartoons and voiceover work that I was doing. And then it transformed into another podcast, which is just me rambling. And then it transformed into the compilation videos. And I did reviews also, but people didn't care about that stuff. And what inspired me to create the type of content my channel is known for now, I mean, just I think the H3 podcast was one of the biggest factors for inspiring me to create the podcast and create the content I am now. I really like Ethan and Ela's connection with people and all that, and I want to like emulate it in some ways, but I also want to put my own spin on it, which I think I do. And why did I start making montages? I guess just because I was getting a lot of funny clips and a lot of cool kills, and I just wanted to put them together and put them on YouTube. And then live streaming, I mean, I didn't really start live streaming until I was watching Maztec Gaming and Superbird have so much fun with it, and I thought, I need to have fun with it. I can't just live stream for the hell of it. I want to have fun with it. I want to play games I want to play. Yeah, they kind of inspired me to do that. I always credit Chronoside and Sash TV for getting me into this small YouTuber community. Chronoside invited me to the Discord server very early on when I was at like 25 subscribers, and it helped me grow and learn what it meant to be a small YouTuber in the video game community, especially from Chronoside. And then Sash TV, he is one of those guys who he has a tight schedule, but he makes such great content, and he is a small YouTuber, and he was actually the first one who I talked with on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Twitter, about YouTube. And I was using my old account back then, and I switched to the new one, and he's still a great guy, so I thank him. And then also, of course, Player 2 and Vex, they're amazing mods on the channel, and they inspire me to keep creating content. They hardly ever do anything that I would say I don't like. They have a good idea of what I want from the channel, and I think they follow those guidelines very, very well, and I just have to thank them. And Heroin X Hero and Chongus Dongus and Canes, you're all there too, and I really appreciate what you guys do for me. Finally, we have Vex Exists, speaking of which. So she asks, what would be your channel theme tune? And it'd probably be something like a doopy doopy doo, something like that, something cartoony, I guess you would say. And she also asks, if you created your own magazine, what would it be called and what would be in it? And I'd probably say probably be like the Ferret Business Magazine, you know. And what would be in it would just be spreadsheets of ferrets wearing hats, and that would be the whole magazine. It'd just be every 2 pages. It would be a 2-page spread, and it'd just be a ferret wearing a hat. And at the end, on the last page, there would be the picture of a ferret in a business suit, and he'd point at you and say, hey you're cool, you're hired, something like that. So I think that's that. All right, well, this went on for a little bit longer than I expected, but thank you so much for listening and giving me questions and stuff like that. I think I've given all the shout-outs I need to during the video, but thank you everyone who gave me questions and wanted me to answer them, and everyone who supports the channel, of course, and everyone who helps me create content that I like creating. So thank you everyone, and I hope to see you in the next video.